There's two types of laws. There's man-made laws that people perceive to abide by. Now, the reason why I say perception or perceive is because people don't always abide by man-made laws and they can be broken. But then there's natural laws. Natural laws from the Ten Commandments. There's laws that govern the universe that we cannot control. However you want to cut it, because our universe has created these laws. Now, imagine if somebody did control the natural laws that govern our reality. Imagine if there was one entity that had the power to be able to control every single variable of our existence. How scary is that to you? When I first originally made this channel, it wasn't really about money, if you really think about it. The goal of my channel was about freedom. I value freedom. It's one of the biggest principles in my life. So it just happens to be that money gives you freedom. What if I told you that a centralized entity, aka Facebook, is trying to control the natural laws in the metaverse? And I have proof of this. I'm going to show you every single detail and the story behind, the truth behind, not the story, but the truth behind the Facebook Meta rebrand. It's kind of scary. Okay, so obviously if you've been involved with cryptocurrency, maybe you've seen the recent news with Facebook rebranding to Meta. Now this is crazy because this is like a contribution to the metaverse. We've been talking about the metaverse for months and it's been created in front of our eyes. There's NFTs being sold for millions of dollars. There's metaverse items on Axie Infinity being sold for 6-7 figures. The metaverse is real and it has value. Now, somebody might be able to control this and it's very scary. I got really skeptical when I saw Facebook rebranding to Meta. I was looking at their advertising campaign and pretty much they do not talk about anything that is the true innovation. The true innovation is value going from physical items to digital items. That is the true innovation. And all of their marketing material, everything was pushing towards virtual reality. It's almost like they want to hide or not give all the details into the true control mechanism. The true control mechanism is the blockchain, and we know they've been creating a cryptocurrency called Diem for a very, very long time. So it's getting kind of scary, and pretty much every variable of your life is going digital. Let me show you. All right, so let's talk about some of the parts of life going digital. The first thing is our work environment, okay? Back in the day, we went from factories to laptops. And now, with the pandemic, we're going from boardrooms to Zoom calls. Now, the most important thing is happening right now, which is the value transfer from real items in the real world to digital items and digital ownership. And this is where everything changes. Like I said, the most important thing is actual value going to digital value, right? Because you're going to identify with these things. And pretty much it's like the new Rolex, right? The new Bored Ape Yacht Club is the Rolex, or like, for example, these CryptoPunks and this kind of societal membership. This is the new flex, right? So guys, again, when Facebook rebranded to Meta, let me show you something. I was a little bit skeptical. As you can see here, virtual reality stacks and facts, it's growing. They're making predictions for 2024 and it looks like it's going parabolic. So they're really trying to attack the virtual reality economy. Not only that, but as you can see here in augmented reality and virtual reality, that the market is huge. It's $296 billion and Facebook owns the majority of that. Let me show you. Consumer and enterprise virtual reality market revenue worldwide. So this is the amount of money they're making. As you can see here, 12.19 in billions of dollars, a huge market. Hardware and software market revenue from 2016 to 2023 is potentially $5.1 billion, a huge market to take advantage of. And then we see different sectors expected to witness the most disruption. As you can see here, healthcare and medical devices and education are a big part of it. You could potentially in the future see people doing surgery from Europe in America, you know, using a robot or in virtual reality, right? So you can see that there's gonna be a lot of industries disrupted with this push towards VR. And guess what? The extended reality, the XR headset shipment is being dominated by Facebook or Oculus. Oculus, as you can see here, owns the vast majority of it. 75% of every headset being sold is being sold by Oculus, which is a Facebook brand. As you can see here, Facebook purchased Oculus for about $2 billion and they own Oculus Rift. So they're pushing for the short term, they're pushing their audience, or they're pushing retail, people that don't know better, into VR. That is kind of like the shiny object for these people, but they're not really telling them about the true metaverse, which is blockchain technology and innovation. And this is where it gets scary, because we know that they know about blockchain technology and innovation. We know they've been involved with it since 2017 with Diem. As you can see here, Facebook has created Diem. It was first branded Libra, and this is basically a stable coin that they created with these huge corporate organizations. And let me show you a picture of that. Basically, Facebook collaborated with Uber, Coinbase, PayPal, eBay, Stripe, Visa, all of these big time companies. And they did this through an association. And this association basically has complete control over their digital currency that's going to launch soon. Okay. I hope you're putting the pieces of a puzzle together, but this is kind of out of hand. And I'm going to show you how this can get very bad very quick. Okay. Pay attention to what's going on. But first, I have to explain to you what true decentralization is. All right, let's talk about decentralization because it's important to see what Facebook is doing. So if we look at what's going on right now, as you can see, everybody's pretty separate. If there was an attack from one side, it would not take down the whole entire network. It would not destroy all of these people. But let me show you a different situation. This is how Facebook and a lot of companies are run today. This is a centralized entity. As you can see, everybody's in one place. This is equivalent to like a database with centralized servers. And this is a central point of failure. All these people can be attacked at once and destroy basically the entire network. So as you can see, it's superior when it comes to security purposes when you have a completely decentralized network, because there is not one point of failure. Decentralized networks allow for better security. They allow for more people to be involved. And the consequence of that is that if you take down, again, one part of it, the other part is resilience. This decentralized network has three separate parts that are really important. The first one is how the decentralized network is made. This is architectural. So this is specifically the consensus mechanism, or how they come to an agreement what should be the next block on the blockchain. So if you don't know, a blockchain is just a public ledger system. It's an accounting system. You record transactions on this blockchain, and you have the whole entire history of the blockchain. And the first part is the consensus mechanism and how they agree what the next part of the blockchain should be. And it's through this consensus mechanism called proof of stake or proof of work. Those are the two most common that they make this agreement. Okay, we have to make sure that the architectural design does not have an ownership by one entity, and that the miners, the proof of work miners, and the case of proof of stake validators are not centralized, right? And it has to be very decentralized. Now, the second point of decentralization that needs to happen is the logical decentralization of a network. And this is where things are stored, like the file storage for these applications. I'm sure you guys have heard of decentralized file storage solutions like Filecoin and Airweave, right? This is the Oracle services like Chainlink. These things, if they have a central point of attack, people can be manipulated on the blockchain. I want you to think of a situation where a DeFi protocol has $1 billion in the actual contract, and somebody at the Oracle service has the incentive to give the wrong price to benefit from this $1 billion, or whatever the case is. This is a central point attack, and right now there's currently no way to decentralize Oracle solutions. Chainlink claims they have the solution, but they have not come out with anything. And the last point of decentralization that's really important is the political decentralization. Communities, computers around the world, the people that vote, the people that contribute. Are the communities coming together and all just doing one thing? Is there like a centralized entity that just makes decisions and calls the shots? Or is everybody contributing as a whole? Are there different entities that are contributing when it comes to community or the people? This is you, right? And this is why towards the end of this video, we're gonna be talking about an action plan so that you can make sure the political side is decentralized. But yeah, let's go into the stablecoin Facebook has a little bit deeper. What I'm about to tell you is really scary. Facebook has complete control over their consensus mechanism. It is a permissioned technology. It's nothing different from centralized servers that are currently being adopted right now with Google and Facebook and these corporatocracies. There is no decentralization in Facebook's Diem. As you can see here by David Marcus, he points it out. It's saying, number one, a BFT-based Libra BFT permission to start. They're saying they're starting permission and they're eventually going to go decentralized, scalable blockchain. He's clearly pointing out that it is a permissioned blockchain, not permissionless. We need a permissionless blockchain. Also, you can read it in this article right here. The white paper provides a few details about how the Libra Association will work. It currently has 28 members, and that number is expected to rise to 100. To get the system started, the members put money into the Libra Reserve, which will enable creation and circulation of the initial pot of Libras. Major policy decisions will be made by a 2/3 vote. A small number of nonprofits are given slots, but the majority of members are large profit-making corporations, including PayPal, Facebook, Uber, Visa, MasterCard, the telecommunications from Vodafone, and various venture capital powerhouses. Ordinary people who buy the Libras have no votes. Let me say that again. Ordinary people who buy and use Libras have no votes in this consensus mechanism, making it centralized. Let's talk about Facebook's path towards world dominance, okay? We're going to be going over exactly how they plan on controlling the human population. This is not a conspiracy theory, or maybe it is. It's probably a conspiracy theory. Step 1, get people to use centralized apps. So I'm talking about like Facebook and all of these, and big push towards VR in the two sectors of entertainment and productivity. You know, the entertainment, the games, right? We've all seen the VR games, and then productivity through, hospital, maybe like a, 3D workplace or whatever the case is. They're pushing this hard. Step 2, integrate their coin that they've been creating. Okay, they've been creating this coin for a while into the actual ecosystem. Now they build this whole entire database, right, of information. Then they integrate the coin into the actual ecosystem, which brings us to step 3, use the data from both sources. So they're not only going to track your actual habits on social media through Instagram and Facebook, but they're also going to get your spending habits that you're going to get, okay, from the blockchain. The blockchain tracks every single purchase decision. They're going to know your purchase decisions. And this is going to ultimately equal full integration into the human species. They will be able to predict all of your spending habits as well as what you post and your identity on the internet, and use this information to combine with algorithms. It's currently happening right now. Read the book Life After Google. So I just want to explain to you guys, this is exactly how they're going to be moving. So this is going to play into our actual thesis for investing as well. Remember, we need decentralization for these 3 variables, right? The first one is fault tolerance. We want to make sure it's super unlikely to fail, especially if it has to do with the construct of the metaverse. I want you to think about how important that is for everybody across the world. Number 2, it needs to be attack resistant, which they are doing with the distributed technologies, but there's a central point of failure in the consensus mechanism itself. And of course, the last part, which is the collusion resistant. They are not collusion resistant right now as we speak when it comes to DM. We need blockchains that hold the metaverse that are collusion resistant. It makes it harder for participants to work together to collude on a specific purpose, right? And DM does not have any of this. Now, let's talk about an action plan, because I don't want to leave you guys high and dry. The first part to making sure that the digital metaverse is decentralized and that you're participating in the right place. The first thing is, of course, to subscribe to the channel and make sure you get educated. You have to be a lifetime learner. And I'm breaking it down for you as well as other YouTubers, but get involved, right? You really, really, really have to educate yourself and consistently change, because these consensus mechanisms are going to change and they do things to try to trip you up. You have to be a lifetime learner, consistently educating yourself. Number 2, you have to act on these education principles with your money and your time. You have to be heavily investing in cryptocurrency as well as using the actual protocols in the metaverse. Not only will this make you money, but this will also ensure the fact that you are helping the decentralized economy and all the people that don't know what's really going on, to ensure they don't get involved. Now, you could actually have power in pushing, the decentralization the way it should be. Power to the people. But that's pretty much it for this video, guys. Act on it, educate yourself, subscribe to the channel, of course, participate in the metaverse, and don't let them take control of everything. Everything I'm saying here, of course, is theory, but it could play out, and it seems like it's likely. It seems like they definitely have a plan, so pay attention. If you like the quality of this content, hit like. If you don't, leave some constructive criticism, subscribe for more video updates, and like I always say, if you don't get with it, you will get left behind. Thanks for watching this, guys. Catch you in the next one.